Hello everyone, DC Wood here again. What's new? I've finished my Owen Hart series for SmarkDown. I've recently been cast in the announcement for the Phoenix Theatre Company's official Zoom production, which is going to be taking place very, very soon. I have finished Drew McIntyre's book recently, which I will review in due course. Also started Richard Osman's The Thursday Murder Club, which is a great book, absolutely great book. Still working on artwork, and also the Arrowverse series. Today I am going to be reviewing the Snyder Cut of Justice League. I purchased this a while back and now I'd like to share my thoughts on it. So let's get underway. Zack Snyder's Justice League on Blu-ray. Right, Warner Brothers released the theatrical cut of Justice League back in 2017. All manner of troubles surrounded the film's production, with major rewrites to the script, the negative critical reception to Batman vs Superman, and Zack Snyder left during post-production following the death of his daughter, Autumn. Director Joss Whedon stepped in to finish the film, and the result was several more changes to the movie, such as a brighter tone, more humour, and a much shorter running time. The end result led to mixed reviews from fans and critics alike, a disappointing box office run, and Warner Brothers choosing a different approach for the DC Extended Universe, focusing more on individual characters and less on the shared narrative that's worked for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the DC Animated Universe, and the Arrowverse. Since 2017, more and more details have surfaced regarding Justice League's critical and commercial failure, interference from Warner Brothers executives, the full extent of Joss Whedon's rewrites and reshoots, and allegations of Whedon's conduct on and off set. And of course, there was a movement from loyal Zack Snyder fans to ultimately release the Snyder Cut of the film. The petition gained more than 180 signatures and support from various cast members, crew, and celebrities who wanted to see Zack's intended vision for Justice League and the DCEU. Ultimately, in 2020, Warner Brothers caved into demand and gave Zack Snyder $70 million to finish his version of the film. With Zack Snyder's Justice League finally released on HBO Max on 18th of March 2021 and ultimately released to home media a few months later. The premise of this cut of Justice League is the same. After Superman's ultimate sacrifice in Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice, a guilt-ridden Bruce Wayne is left studying the findings of Lex Luthor, realising that the Earth is more vulnerable than ever to alien invasion. Batman must regroup with Wonder Woman and unite a new league of heroes: Aquaman, the Flash, and the Cyborg. Only they can stop the Conqueror Steppenwolf and his legion of parademons from finding the mother boxes. But in Zack Snyder's version of Justice League, there's so much more going on than that. The question is, has Snyder used the time and resources to produce the Justice League film that we've all been waiting for? Let's discuss. I'm going to be honest. The 2017 release of Justice League was a good film. I liked it. And that was the problem with it. When you have a film that has Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, the Flash, and the Cyborg all together on the big screen, it's not supposed to be a good film that you like. It's supposed to be an absolutely epic film that you can't get enough of. Case in point, the first Avengers film in 2012 that Joss Whedon did when he was working with Marvel. That benefited from years of world building, establishing and showcasing all the individual Avengers as characters before bringing them together in an epic scenario that delivered. And it wasn't just the Avengers. In DC's Arrowverse, the 2016 Invasion crossover successfully brought Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow together after all of those shows and characters had been established first. The DC animated universe, of course, took its time with both the Batman and Superman animated series before they even considered doing a Justice League show. And even though Marvel's The Defenders was something of a missed opportunity, at least that production had the benefit of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage and Iron Fist being established and developed first before trying a crossover. Warner Brothers definitely didn't take any of that into consideration for the DCEU, with the exception of Wonder Woman, of course, when they went about Justice League. And when I'm looking more into it, another thing that hurt Justice League was Joss Whedon's directing style conflicting with Zack Snyder's. Now, Whedon's success with the first Avengers film and Age of Ultron spoke for itself, but him finishing and extensively rewriting Snyder's work resulted in the film ultimately being so tonally inconsistent. There were still some great ideas and some good moments in the Whedon cut, and after Batman vs Superman, I was thankful for a lighter, less grim tone, but there were too many cringeworthy attempts at humour, messy CGI, a cliched story, a lacklustre villain in Steppenwolf, and a disjointed narrative that let things down. Watching this Snyder Cut, I can safely say that this is a definite improvement, definitely the superior version. The time and money has been well spent. The end result is a real tour de force, clocking in with a running time of 242 minutes, over 4 hours. Now, this is a hindrance to the director's cut of Justice League, which I'll discuss later on, but to Zack Snyder's credit, he takes full advantage of the insane running time, maximising every moment on screen to produce a superhero movie that's not only epic, but chocker with characterization, richness, depth, high stakes, exciting action, and a climax that feels truly earned. I'll try not to give too much away because I'm sure not everyone will have seen the Snyder Cut yet, but watching this version of Justice League made me realise just how truncated the theatrical release was. There are so many nuances littered throughout Zack's vision that not only provide much needed context and depth to the story and the characters, they also raise the stakes when it comes to the action. In Whedon's cut, you had some good action sequences that were let down by the inconsistent tone, messy CGI and no emotion. Here, you can truly invest in some stunning sequences. You're on the edge of your seat throughout. There's so much more meaning and seriousness to the fights, and there are true stakes and story to all the conflicts between the Justice League and Steppenwolf and his parademons. Plus, the film also takes time to explore the aftermath of said conflicts and rectify any annoying plot holes that were in the Whedon cut. Visually, the version looks great with a tone that suits the DCEU better, and there's much more polished CGI here. The presentation is intriguing, with Zack Snyder opting to present his cut in a 4:3 format instead of a 2.391 aspect ratio that has been traditionally used in widescreen HD formats in the last 2 decades. It gives this version of Justice League a real retro vibe, and I like it. It doesn't really take anything away from the quality of this film. It further helps distinct it from Joss Whedon's cut. In terms of soundtrack, Tom Holkenborg has produced a real evocative score for the Snyder Cut. I liked the work Danny Elfman did for the original release. Danny is, of course, one of the greatest film composers of all time, but Tom's composition truly reflects Zack's vision for the DCEU, capturing the essence of these character renditions and all the scenes. There are so many moments of elation, despair, triumph, fear, comradeship. The tone is much more adult than the Whedon cut, and it further helps to distinct the Justice League from the Avengers. As for the cast, it feels like they're truly proud and happy to be doing this for Zack Snyder, as opposed to when they were working for Joss Whedon. Ben Affleck is fantastic as ever as Batman, at capturing the grim essence of Bruce Wayne, who's now determined to honour Superman's memory example. Henry Cavill, I've always felt that he had the potential to be a great Superman, but was never really given the material he deserved. He feels a little shortchanged here again, but in Zack's Justice League, Henry gets an absolutely epic return as the Man of Steel and truly comes into his own in the movie's final moments. Gal Gadot remains perfect as Wonder Woman. She was the best thing in all of Batman vs Superman and Whedon's Justice League. Wonder Woman itself was a glorious film. Wonder Woman 1984, it had its moments, but felt like a fall from grace. Here, Diana is back in full badass mode. Her character is truly inspiring and compassionate. Her Amazonian origins and warrior prowess provide improved backstory for the plot here, and she also gets a great storyline here in the Snyder Cut as well. Jason Momoa is also ace as Arthur Curry, Aquaman. I liked Aquaman. I thought that was a very good film. Aquaman's story here ties in nicely with the events of his film. Arthur's another badass. Jason's performance is brilliant. But the two cast members who really benefit from the Snyder Cut are definitely Ezra Miller's The Flash and Ray Fisher's Cyborg. Again, you realise just how badly they were shortchanged by the theatrical release. In this version, both Barry Allen and Victor Stone's characters are fully fleshed out in ways you never imagined, with much needed backstories and turns in the spotlight. Both The Flash and Cyborg here contribute so much to the story overall, and in turn, Ezra Miller proves why he's just as worthy of being The Flash as Grant Gustin is. Ray Fisher's Cyborg is arguably the heart and soul of Justice League, proving to be a truly tragic individual and a creature trying to accept the hand he's been dealt with and slowly grasp the godhood he's been given. Another beneficiary of the Snyder Cut is definitely Steppenwolf. In the Whedon Cut, Steppenwolf was just a bland, generic conqueror who wanted to dominate the Earth. In this Snyder Cut, the villain is so much more. Steppenwolf here is a truly ruthless, terrifying and formidable warrior and commander, with his parademons truly proving to be a nightmarish legion at his disposal. But Steppenwolf now also proves to be something of a tragic character as well, a disgraced general exiled from his home planet who is desperately trying to redeem himself in the eyes of his superior Desard and their ultimate master Darkseid. With strong purpose and formidability going for him, Steppenwolf actually comes across as a challenge worthy of the Justice League. The script is better, there's so much improved dialogue, the pacing of this film is excellent, there are chapter breaks which make the Snyder Cut easier to digest, there are so many Easter eggs that keen DC fans will recognise, and there are several enticing plot threads left over as well. We may never know the full extent of what Zack Snyder's long game was for the DCEU, but at least we have the reality of what his vision might have been. Whether or not the Snyderverse will be resurrected remains to be seen, but as it stands, this cut of Justice League is a triumph and easily one of the best entries of the whole DCEU, second only to Wonder Woman. Right, let's look at the case. I love the front cover of all the Justice League. I love the dark tone of this image and the ominous image of Darkseid there looming over them. The faint colour of the sun in the distance is really nice. I just love the brightness hue contrast here overall, and it's much more evocative than the overly bright cover of the Whedon cut. We look at the back, and that's a superb image of the entire Justice League, overlooking the world with the sun rising. The layout is great, and the typesetting here is just fab. There's great images as well. No real spoilers. Overall, a great design. Now we'll take the slipcase off. Right, and look inside the box. It's a 2-disc set. We've got a leaflet promoting the current range of DC TV shows and animated flicks available for purchase at shopwarnerbrothers.co.uk, as well as promoting the new films and games coming out this year and next, like the Batman, the Suicide Squad, and the Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad games that are coming soon on various platforms. The printing of the discs is absolutely beautiful. I just love that desolate image of the Justice League flag in tatters and the cities in ruins. Picture-wise and sound quality, everything's clean and crisp and gorgeous. There's subtitles, there's scene selection, which you will need, and because the film is 4 hours, this film had to be spread across 2 discs. The menu design is great for disc 1, but only as you put in disc 2 to carry on with the rest of the film. It will play automatically, but scene selections and subtitles still exist via the pop-up menu. There's only one extra here, which is a great one. It's the Road to Justice League. It's a great 20-minute featurette that sees Zack Snyder reflect on his trilogy of DC films. Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel. It features cast interviews and a great creative insight. Normally I'd whine and protest for trailers, audio commentaries, etc., but this documentary is great by itself. Frankly, nothing else is needed. Right, back to the elephant in the room. This is a 4-hour film. It is way too long for any movie. The average film lasts between 1.5 to 2 hours. That's the comfortable running time for me. I can gladly watch a 3-hour film, so long as the pacing is perfect, like the Lord of the Rings films and Avengers Endgame, for example. But 4 hours? I simply couldn't watch this Snyder Cut in one sitting. It's too much for me. As I said, not a single moment is wasted in Zack Snyder's version of Justice League. There's so much more depth and context provided in this director's cut, and the chapter breaks enable viewers to digest the story at their own leisure. It's a massive improvement overall, and it turns an okay film into something that's truly great. But on the other hand, Zack Snyder needed 4 hours to deliver a great superhero movie. Joss Whedon delivered a greater film in over half that time with The Avengers in 2012. Same with Patty Jenkins for 2017's Wonder Woman. Ditto for Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, Christopher Nolan with his Dark Knight trilogy masterwork, Richard Donner with Superman in 1978, and of course there's Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which is an animated movie that lasts 78 minutes and is arguably the greatest Batman film of all time. Bottom line, there are better superhero movies out there that prove that less is more, and whilst all the Easter eggs and plans that Zack had set in motion for the future are fascinating to behold, these are more for die-hard DC lovers like myself. I personally doubt this Snyder Cut will appeal to mainstream audiences, and it seems unlikely that the Snyderverse will be restored, given what a tour de force it is. But despite, or perhaps because of, its insane running time, Zack Snyder's Justice League is a true bona fide epic. A release that is absolutely justified, and I'm glad I got to see it. This is for DC fans, Snyder fans, and those who still have hope for the DCEU. Your prayers are justified. If you're a casual moviegoer and you're curious about this Snyder Cut, check it out and see what you think, but watch it in installments instead of one sitting. In closing, a great film. Overall rating, 8 out of 10. Zack Snyder's Justice League is available now, not just on Blu-ray, but also on DVD and for download from online retailers. If you've seen Zack Snyder's Justice League, please share your thoughts in the comments below. What did you guys think of it? Thanks again for your loyal support. Please click like and subscribe. I'll be back soon with a review of Drew McIntyre's A Chosen Story, and I will continue my Arrowverse reviews with Freedom Fighters The Ray. See you again soon. Stay safe. Bye-bye.